Well, here it is. It's the middle of August, and next month, GoPro is due to release the new GoPro Hero 13. Is it going to be any better than the 12? I want to talk about some of the speculation that I have in a wish list of what I think that the GoPro Hero 13 should have, and my comment about the 13 number. That's coming right up. And a quick little disclaimer. Of course, I know nothing about what GoPro is going to do. I'm not one of those influencers or YouTubers that gets a new GoPro from GoPro. Why? Because they never send me anything. And that's okay because, it is what it is. But the GoPro Hero 13, I want to talk about the number 13 first. Because I'm very surprised that they're going to use the number 13. Because in a lot of cultures, the number 13 is considered very unlucky. But I want to talk about, yes, it will be a 13. And I can tell you that because Nick Woodman actually called it the GoPro Hero 13 Black. And he also said that there's going to be a less expensive version. So let's take a look at what he's got to say first. So Nick Woodman, he says, our rollout of the new products start next month with the launch of our new significantly enhanced flagship camera, Hero 13 Black, along with our new $199 entry-level Hero camera that features an entirely new design that we fully expect to wow both consumers who are new to the brand as well as existing consumers who believe we will see value in the unique characteristics of the Hero's exciting new form factor and capabilities. So that right there tells you that there's going to be a new body style for the less expensive version. And I think that new body style is going to reflect in what the Hero 14 is going to be. But let's talk about the Hero 13. What is it going to be able to offer? Now, this is strictly conjecture. Everybody's talked about 1-inch sensor for what? Since the anticipation of the GoPro Hero 11 Black, they said, 8K, 1-inch sensor. I don't think that they're going to go 8K. So GoPro right now is at 5.3K. The leading industry standard for an action camera is the Insta360 Ace Pro at 8K, but it's 24 frames per second. Then Insta360 has the Ace, the non-pro version, that does 6K at 30 frames per second. And I think that that's going to be the sweet spot for GoPro. I think that GoPro is going to have the 13 come in at 6K, 30 frames per second, maybe even 6K at 60 frames per second, but with better image quality. Now, the 5.3K is good enough on its own, but can they squeeze a little bit more performance? And I think one thing that they're going to add to the GoPro Hero 13 that they took away from the 12 is the GPS. Because here's another statement by Nick Woodman about GPS. Much like how Garmin has built a successful, diversified business by addressing the specialized GPS-driven and data capture needs of various markets, we believe GoPro has the opportunity to leverage our category leadership in digital imaging to deliver a broader image of specialized image capture solutions in markets we currently serve. So I really believe that the GoPro Hero 13 Black is going to have GPS put back into it. And it's really weird because, okay, so I've had GoPros since the GoPro Hero 5. I've had the 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and now the 12. And am I going to get the 13? Well, we're going to talk about the 13 a little bit later on in this video. But when they changed from the 7 to the 8, they took away the removable lens cover. And let me show you. So here's my GoPro Hero 8. And I don't know if you can tell, but right up here, I chipped the glass on it. And I can't change that out. But luckily, it doesn't affect the image quality because it's right up on that upper edge corner of the GoPro Hero 8. And the 8 still works fine. I think it's a great camera for what it is, especially if you can still buy one now. It's definitely cost savings wise a way to go, or get the GoPro Hero 10. The 9 was a disaster with the audio popping and crackling, and GoPro, they stayed away from resolving that issue because they knew that it was an issue, where they even came out and said, well, you know what? The way to rectify that is to turn on the GoPro Hero 9 and let it sit for 1.5 to 2 minutes before you start to record a video with it to give it an opportunity to warm up, and then the chances that crackling won't be there. Well, for all of us that use action cameras, it's like turn it on, hit record, and you start to go. You don't want to sit there and wait, and plus that eats up a little bit of battery time. So what will the GoPro Hero 13 have? Well, we already talked about resolution. I think that they're going to stick at 6K, and I think that they're going to go with a wider field of view on the 13, but also has better distortion correction. So it's not so warped out on the sides when they do that super view. And I think that maybe that they're going to do that, or they're going to offer a cinematic 23:1 aspect ratio to where you get that really nice wide cinematic look with the GoPro. That's a possibility. At least that's my conjecture on it. I think that they're going to try to squeeze a little bit more battery life and longevity out of the battery for the GoPro Hero 13, so that may be something that they add to it. Of course, like I said, they're going to bring back that GPS because it's really needed. It really pissed off a lot of people when the 12 didn't have the GPS, and a lot of people were speculating that the 12, because of the GPS, it ate up more battery life, it overheated the camera, and that's why they did it. I think, to me, it was just a cost-saving measure. But anyway, larger image sensor and better low light. I don't think that the GoPro Hero 13 is going to have a larger image sensor. I just don't. But I do think that they're going to try to tweak how the camera processes video in low light scenarios and give it better noise reduction and maybe a higher bit rate, higher shutter speed, anything that's going to be able to give you a better low light video, because the Ace Pro gets great low light. And speaking of low light, we can't forget about the DJI Action 4. This little guy is a low light beast for an action camera. And when you think about money-wise, if you're in a mid-budget area, DJI Action 4, definitely the way to go. Built like a brick house. DJI has always been really good about their products, except the Action 3 because the lens was out of focus, but I'll put a link to that video if you want to see it up here. DJI is kind of like the king when it comes to low light. Look at the Pocket 3. The Pocket 3 is an animal in low light, but it has a 1-inch type sensor. So will the GoPro Hero 13 have a 1-inch type sensor? I don't think so. I think that strategically what GoPro is going to do is they're going to keep the same image sensor. They're going to give you better low light performance. They may give you some different shooting options. The resolution may bump up from 5.3K up to 6K. They're going to reintroduce the GPS module. And I think that with the new body style of the 199 version, I think that that is going to be a fortune telling of what the GoPro Hero 14 is going to look like. Because I think the 14 might finally introduce the 1-inch sensor or 1-inch type sensor. And a 1-inch type sensor on its own, like the Pocket 3, is going to be able to give phenomenal low light video quality. And with GoPro stabilization, and if they tweak how it does noise reduction, they can get a really great camera out of the 14. So I think that GoPro is looking at 2025 to introduce a complete new line of the Hero line. I think that that 199 version, whatever the new body style looks like, because the 12 looks like the 11, looks like the 10, looks like the 9 as far as the body. Well, except 12, they speckle some paint speckles on it. And of course, GoPro is kind of off the Hero subject, but they're going to introduce a new 360 camera, and they really base, at least from what the words from Nick Woodman, they're basing a lot of their strategic placement and financial strategic placement in the industry on 360 cameras. So I think that they're going to come out with a new 360 camera. It's kind of due anyway, and they're going to try to compete with the Insta360 X4 for that 360 market share. Will GoPro be able to keep up? Because it seems like Insta360, DJI, they've done a great job with the Action 4. They've kind of, GoPro's always been known as the leader in action cameras. And I've been reviewing action cameras since 2016. So, and it's not like I'm an expert on action cameras, but I've went through a couple hundred action cameras over the years. And so I've got a pretty good grip on things. When it comes to GoPro, they were the leader. They were the benchmark. Everybody tried to be like GoPro. And then all of a sudden, these other companies, DJI and Insta360, they started coming right up. And I think in certain aspects that they've surpassed them. I said in a previous video on my review of the Insta360 Ace Pro that I thought it was the best action camera out there. Now, considering the price difference between DJI and GoPro and the Insta360, I think that the Insta360, if you can afford it, yes, because of everything that it offers, I think it's best overall, the best action camera out there. But I gotta say it's very close neck and neck with, if you take away the 8K capability of the Ace Pro, and we just talk about 4K, the DJI Action 4, very good camera. What's it gonna take for me to get involved and think about purchasing a GoPro Hero 13? And this is taking away the whole aspect of me just buying it just to review, to let you guys know my honest take on it. I think that for me, at the reported price of $500 for the GoPro Hero 13 Black, that's a lot of money. It's a lot of money for the average person out there. And a lot of people have issues with GoPros freezing up. You got to pull the battery out, stick it back in. If GoPro were to offer a larger image sensor and higher resolution, it's a maybe for me. It's a maybe for me. But that's just my opinions, my conjecture on what, because I mean, we're a month away. I guess we're all going to find out. There's a lot of YouTubers apparently that already have the 13 and are doing their testing with GoPro and getting their videos ready. I guess we'll find out on launch date in September what the GoPro Hero 13 Black has to offer, and also the new GoPro 13 budget $199 version with that new body style, because I'm really interested in what the new body style is going to look like, because that's going to tell us about the GoPro Hero 14 and what the future is of GoPro in the next generations, 14, 15, 16, maybe 17, another 4 generations of a new GoPro body style and what they're going to offer. And I don't think that the 1-inch type sensor is going to happen on the on the 13. I think it'll be the 14 with the new body style, and who knows what else that they're going to offer. But that's what it's going to take for me to purchase and actually consider a GoPro Hero 13 Black. Tell me down in the comments section, what would it take for you to consider getting a GoPro Hero 13 Black at $500? What would they have to do to win you over as a consumer? I'm really interested to know. Let me know down in the comment section below.